Birds of Prey has birded its way into cinemas like a flock of cats. Ah, shit, I mean birds! And as is mandated by my inescapable drive to list obvious things that appear in popular movies, we're doing the Easter eggs from Birds of Prey, covering the topics of Harley Quinn herself, locations, the gangs of Gotham, the Birds of Prey, links to previous DC movies, the Joker, references to the comics in the animated series, and that bit at the end where I just, throw in some extra stuff at the last minute. There are time codes below if you do want to jump to any particular section. And hey, if you could give this video a like, that'd be great. If you don't want to, that's fine. But I ask you just to think of Mitch, who's editing this. You could break his little heart if you don't. And he has a rare condition where if he gets a broken heart, he'll instantly die. And frankly, he's a good editor, and I don't want to find another editor. All right, let's go. Okay, Harley Quinn. Now, it's mentioned in the animated intro that her father traded her for a six-pack of beer. Her father is Nick Quinzel, a con man who's actually the driving force behind her going into psychology as she's trying to work out why her father left. Also in that animated intro, we get a look at her clothing for when she's a doctor. Very similar to what we saw in the Batman animated series. And then of course we get the Batman the animated series costume, which we did see briefly in live action in the movie Suicide Squad. We see two of her most famous weapons in the baseball bat and mallet. And there's a moment that she mentions that she's no dummy, which is true because she does have a PhD. She also named her hyena Bruce after that hunky Wayne guy. In the comics, she actually has two hyenas called Bud and Lou, named after the famous comedy duo Abbott and Costello. And I don't know where to put this, so I'm just going to put it here. The Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend number is a nod to Marilyn Monroe in the movie Gentlemen Like It Hot. Okay, locations. She explodes the Ace Chemicals plant. That is, of course, where both her and the Joker are birthed. We also see Amusement Mile, which is the home of many a Batman tale. Of course, in that we also get the famous Hall of Mirrors. And at the very end of the movie, we visit Founders Pier. Now, I didn't really get a very good look at the statues in there, but if I hazarded a guess, some of those founders might be Alan Wayne, relation to Bruce Wayne, Theodore Cobblepot, relation to the Penguin, and Edward Elliot, relation to Thomas Elliot, or Hush. A lot of crime stuff going in this movie. Just crimes and all the times. We see the Bertinelli crime family, which of course ties into Huntress, but we'll get back to that. They are from the comics. As well, of course, Black Mask in Roman Sionis, whose father was also a famous crime overlord figurehead. Like in the comics, he's also inherited his father's company. We've seen all this stuff before also in like Gotham and other stuff. Things are everywhere all the time. By Black Mask's side, of course, is Victor Zsasz, famous comic book serial killer character. Now, the Birds of Prey themselves, there's mention that Dinah Lance's mother is dead, but she also had powers. That is true in the comics. Cassandra Cain is largely mute from the comics. We kind of get a nod to that in the Gotham precinct when she doesn't bite back immediately to Renee Montoya. Cassandra Cain also becomes a Batgirl at one point, as many people do. We also see Helena Bertinelli, Huntress. There's various versions of Huntress in the comics, but of course this is the version which is going for revenge for the death of her family. Normally also in the comics, all these people are led by Barbara Gordon. Sometimes after her crime-fighting days, sometimes during, depends who you get, but normally we see her as Oracle. Maybe she'll show up in later movies. Now, I wasn't really sure going into this how much of this movie connects to the extended DC universe, whatever they're currently calling it. The worlds of DC? I don't know what they're doing. But it seems like the Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman are canon to this movie. Of course, when Harley Quinn recounts her story, she mentions how she was captured by Batman and rescued by Joker, etc. and so forth. Those events happened during the movie Suicide Squad with the Ben Affleck Batman, which of course means that Batman v Superman must also still count for now. We also see a wanted sign for Captain Boomerang, where she says, "Hey, I know that guy." He's of course going to be showing up in the new Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn is directing. And we also see the shirt that she wore from that at a couple of points in the movie, in the animated intro, and also during the movie she actually holds it up. Okay, Joker. So the Jared Leto version of the Joker, it seems like he's done, for now at least. With the Joaquin Phoenix movie and the fact that people hated that version. Nobody wanted a bar of it. But there's still plenty of nods to that version of the character in this movie. They got to stand in to shoot some of the scenes where he was required. There's other little traces of him throughout the movie. At Amusement Mile, we see ha 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 written all over the glass in the background. That's in a similar style to his tattoos. There's also, of course, the J on Harley Quinn's necklace. There's a bunch of other stuff on there also that she appears to treasure. The name Bruce, a hyena, a pill, which linked to her psychologist past, and a safety pin. It's probably some shit from Suicide Squad. Who knows? Right, comics and animated connections. Now, there's a moment that Harley Quinn said that she once found the Joker's nude photo of Eleanor Roosevelt in a bird's nest in Robinson Park. That's a roundabout way of me saying that Jerry Robinson invented the Joker in the 1940s, and that's a nod to him. The moment where she busts into the police precinct, the outfit and the reveal of all the weapons, that looks like it's ripped straight from Injustice Year 2. Speaking of Injustice though, the Canary Cry seems to be based directly off the Injustice game, confirmed in a tweet, sort of. In the 2013 Harley Quinn series, the character moves to Coney Island and starts skating, which of course we get in this movie. We get the Birds of Prey in matching costumes, sort of, towards the end. You know, they're close enough. Huntress has the mask, they're purplish. Maybe they'll opt for something more comic booky in the next movie. I don't know, who's to say? Who knows anything? We see Bernie the Beaver, the taxidermied beaver from the comics. In the post-credits, and I did do a video on this. Don't watch it, that's not good. It seems like Harley Quinn is going to mention a secret about Batman before being cut off. But many people have speculated that she was actually going to say this.
Ask the guy who fucks bats.
He doesn't do that! Jim. Sorry.
And as sure as I am that he fucks bats,
Okay.
From the new Harley Quinn animated series. There's also hints towards her fluid sexuality, which we have seen in the comics, because of course she has dated the likes of Joker, but also Poison Ivy. And we see in that animated introduction that before the Joker, she dated a couple of men and at least one woman. And here's a nice little Easter egg. Arlene Sorkin, who is the voice of Harley Quinn in Batman the Animated Series and other things, is seen on a TV towards the end of the movie in a segment from Days of Our Lives, which she also starred in, which served as part of the inspiration for Harley Quinn. So there you go. That's a thing that happened. Now, of course, there's multiple things that I've left out of this initial audio edit, as is often the case. So here they are in all their glory, the things that I did not put in the video, but now they're in the video, at the end of the video. Oh my goodness, that's an excellent Easter egg. Oh, that's a really good find. I'm glad this one made the cut. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's a good one. That ties it all together, doesn't it? What else have I missed from this? Lots of stuff, no doubt. Because, you know, movies are hard. It's hard to pick up on everything all the time, you know? Also, did you like this movie? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. That's up to you. But hey, if you want to know my opinion, I have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows that comes out every Monday morning. And we are going to be talking in depth about this Birds of Prey movie. A spoiler-heavy discussion. Please come along. And if you love Birds of Prey, or if you love to watch terrible things about Birds of Prey, there's actually a recent video on this channel on the Birds of Prey cancelled TV series from the early 2000s. Whoa, I mean, geez, it's a rough show, and we made a video on it. I'll link it at the end and below if you do want to check it out. But hey, thanks for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Mitch really appreciates it. It makes his heart full, which is actually also really dangerous for him. That can also kill him. So you want to get that kind of middle ground with Mitch's heart. Not too down on himself, but not too high on himself. Because otherwise, either way, his heart explodes, you know. And again, I don't want to switch editors. He's a good editor. Okay, I'm leaving. Is this 10 minutes? Who gives a shit? All right, bye.